Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team, Eyewitness News at 10 starts now.
Chicago mourns the loss of one of its bravest and finest. And we have another officer who is struggling and fighting for his very life.
Chicago and law enforcement across the state are mourning the loss of an officer killed in the line of duty. Plus, health experts are alarmed by a recent jump in COVID-19 cases among children, why they are saying this is a preventable problem. And Rockford's longest-running festival kicks off its last day of this year's events. We give you a look at today's sights and sounds. Good evening, I'm Alexis Carpello. The Chicago Police Department is mourning a young officer killed in the line of duty responding to a traffic stop. Tonight, her partner is fighting for his life, and the city's mayor with a warning for those responsible for the increasing gun violence on the streets. Here's ABC's Phil Lipoff.
Tonight, the Chicago Police Department is mourning the loss of one of its own, a 29-year-old female officer with just 3.5 years on the job, killed in the line of duty. A street lined with fellow officers saluting the ambulance carrying her body to the medical examiner's office.
Give me two ambulances needed for two officers down.
It was a traffic stop on the south side of the city. 3 people in the stopped car, 3 officers approaching. That's when police say the man sitting in the passenger's seat opened fire, hitting 2 of the officers. They returned fire, wounding the alleged gunman, then rushing to save 2 of their own.
Take that damn vest off right now and start compressing, start breathing, whatever we gotta do, start it now.
One officer pronounced dead at the hospital, her partner in critical condition. The department keeping vigil outside the hospital. Police Superintendent David Brown grieving with his department, praising his officers.
They come to work willing to run toward danger, toward gunfire. And they're willing to sacrifice their lives to save the lives of perfect strangers.
And Mayor Lori Lightfoot with this warning.
No gang member, no drug dealer, no gun dealer can ever have a moment of peace on any block, any neighborhood, not in our city.
This year so far particularly dangerous for Chicago police. 38 officers shot at, 11 have been hit, and now 1 killed.
That was Phil Lipoff reporting. Bullets fly through the air on Rockford's east side. Officers investigate shots fired near 18th Street and 16th Avenue. No word if anyone or anything was hit. We'll update you when more details are available. The Ogle County Sheriff's deputies make another arrest in connection to a drug bust at a Rochelle apartment complex. On Friday, around 2:20 p.m., Paul Conti of Rochelle was arrested. He faces unlawful possession with intent to deliver crack, fentanyl, heroin, and other charges. He was taken to the Ogle County Jail. A person is dead after speeding off a Janesville road and crashing into a tree. Janesville police say it happened around 10:45 last night. It was a 1-vehicle crash. Police say the vehicle left the road in the area of Palmer Drive and South Main Street. When first responders arrived, they found the driver unresponsive and pinned in the vehicle. The driver died at the scene. Investigators say the driver missed the curve on Palmer Drive and speed was a leading factor in the fatal crash. The driver's identity is being withheld until police notify family. A Janesville man is behind bars after breaking into a home and trying to steal several items, including guns. It happened on Barberry Drive off of Kennedy Road around 5:30 this morning. Janesville police say a woman woke up to the burglar in her bedroom looking around with a flashlight. She alerted her husband, who police say struggled with the suspect. Investigators say the suspect was in the home for several minutes, and when he ran away from the home, he dropped 2 guns. DILLION Dutcher was taken into custody. Police say they were looking for Dutcher in a prior burglary to a hair salon and damage to 4 other businesses. He's charged with burglary, theft of firearm, and criminal damage to property. Dutcher sits in the Rock County Jail. Health experts warn of a recent rise in COVID-19 cases in kids and teens. The American Academy of Pediatricians says in the last week of July, COVID-19 cases in kids jumped by 84%. The Pfizer vaccine is the only shot approved for kids 12 and over. An OSF doctor recommends getting preteens and teens vaccinated now so kids can be fully vaccinated for the school year.
Now is the time that we should be getting that vaccination to make sure that, those kids that are 12 and older are protecting not only themselves and their family and those that they're around, but also their peers or younger kids that have not been able to get that vaccination or just aren't eligible or old enough to get that.
Deshaun says kids can get sick with COVID-19 and suffer long-term complications. Tomorrow, there will be a back-to-school vaccination clinic at Winnebago High School starting at 4 p.m. Rockford's longest-running festival is on its third day today. We told you about the Festa Italiana starting this past Friday. Michelle Rave was there today and caught up with some residents who are embracing the Italian culture.
It's just tremendous to see. As I walk through here, I see people that I started with 40 years ago, and that's just fantastic.
For Whitey Marinelli, a former Festa Italiana chairman and one of the original founding fathers of the festival, says it's emotional how much it's grown over the years.
The money that we took in that first year, which, believe me, was like $20,000, and we thought we were the biggest hit in town, which 40 years later, I guess we were. So it's been just a wonderful ride.
Festa Italiana honors the Italian-American heritage and culture.
It's to make non-Italians appreciate what Italians do and the culture that we have. For this weekend, like Frank says, everybody's Italian.
And are you folks Italian?
No, but today? I feel Italian today.
I'm Swedish.
Chad Zander says he attends the festival every year, especially when it comes to playing his favorite, bocce.
Favorite part is seeing family and friends that you don't get to see all the time and just bonding with everybody, having a great time, indulging in all the Italian cuisine. It's wonderful.
For others, like Matt Staciones, it means taking a tradition and passing it on to his children.
I have 4 of them, and they kind of have all grown up with that tradition. They love it. Hopefully they'll pass it on to their family. So that Italian culture is something that really is alive, and more importantly, something like this makes sure that it stays alive in the Rockford area.
Marinelli says he's proud of what the festival has become.
And what we started with, it's just amazing. The Rockford community has supported us for many, many years. And over the years, we've given almost $800,000 to scholarship for kids. And we've done things in the community. And this is our weekend. And we're very proud of it.
Reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
Senators are working through the weekend to pass a massive $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. Today, the bill faces yet another key vote before a final vote. DC's Raquel Martin has more as she's keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
Thanks to a special Sunday workday, the Senate is one step closer to passing a massive infrastructure bill.
It could go quicker, but it's going. And that's the good thing.
On CNN State of the Union, Republican Senator Bill Cassidy, who helped negotiate the $1.2 trillion deal, said he's optimistic it'll make it across the finish line by Tuesday, with some Republicans on board.
Well, we've had about 17 or 18 who've indicated that they're going to vote yes.
I think it's time for us to come together.
On the Senate floor Sunday, Ohio Republican Rob Portman pushed back against his Republican colleagues who argue the plan will add billions to the federal deficit.
But it's good for the country. It builds our core infrastructure. It doesn't raise taxes on the American people. It'll grow the economy. It'll lead to more tax revenue coming in to the Treasury. And yet it includes responsible pay-fors.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says Republicans have until the end of the day to propose additional changes to the legislation.
I hope they will cooperate so we can move more quickly. Otherwise, we'll proceed by the book and finish the bill.
Schumer says the Senate will remain in session for as long as it takes to get the bill passed.
We'll keep proceeding until we get this bill done.
In Washington, Raquel Martin.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Got a few showers coming down for us, even a couple of thunderstorms. Isolated in nature here. A live look with the Mercedale SkyTrack camera now out over downtown Rockford. We had some rain, heard a few rumbles of thunder, no severe weather for us as a lot of that activity continues to kind of weaken a bit as it moves a little bit further up to the north for us this evening. We had a steadier rainfall to south and east of Rockford, a couple of thunderstorms to the west of us, and still an isolated thunderstorm there just northeast of Freeport once you get north of Rydot here in eastern Stevenson County. Again, no severe weather expected with that, just some heavy downpours with any more of that steadier shower storm activity that comes through. This will last through roughly about midnight or so, and you can see a few of those heavier showers now once you again get north of Rydot, just to the east and northeast there, getting up closer towards the Rock City area, kind of working up a little more to the north and actually a bit more to the northwest. So all that is going to do is provide just a brief heavy downpour and a couple claps of thunder. We will see a little lull though in some of the activity here once we get closer to midnight as an area of low pressure working in from the northwest. You see an increase in some of the lightning strikes over northeast Iowa. That low moves closer to us just after sunrise tomorrow. So while we get a break in some of the activity here through the early overnight, I do expect some of the showers and thunderstorms to increase a little more in coverage as we get through about 6, 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And those will have some heavier downpours with them. Our severe threat with that looking to stay low. But anytime you get an area of low pressure kind of moving directly overhead and you get the changing of the wind, and we are still going to have a bit of instability overhead, you do have to watch some of those thunderstorms that kind of form. So keep that in mind for the morning hours tomorrow. That will pass before noon, and depending on how quickly we clear out for the afternoon, we could see some thunderstorms redevelop during the afternoon. If we do see that, there is a higher potential for those to become strong to severe as we really build up that instability. That would be for tomorrow afternoon and then clearing out once we get into Monday evening and then into Tuesday. Warm front comes through Tuesday morning, so that'll really bring that temperature up. Thunderstorms forming to our west during the day and north on Tuesday could come close to us late Tuesday evening and early overnight. We're 72 in Rockford, 74 in Freeport, 76 in Monroe, 69 for our weather watcher Sandy here in the Kirkland-Fairdale area. She's checking in with a relative humidity of 83%, said she just got a couple of sprinkles there on the back deck. It's muggy out there as our dew point temperatures are in the mid and upper 60s, low 70s, so this gives us a little bit of an idea of where our overnight lows will fall to here as we head through the overnight hours. That heat, that humidity going to be sticking around for the next several days. In fact, we had the heat index today that was up over 100 degrees. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that heat index could get up over 100 degrees as well. Might not be quite as high tomorrow just because we start off with the cloud cover and some of the showers, but notice as we bring back that surge and some of that warmth as temperatures climb into the lower 90s, we'll see that heat index up to or over 100 degrees. Again, severe potential there Monday, Tuesday, and then I think on Thursday with a cold front that comes in, but we'll lose the humidity as temperatures, Alexis, drop back into the lower 80s.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with David Greenberg.
The final game of the Crosstown Classic from Wrigley Field was tonight in prime time on Sunday Night Baseball. Check out the highlights. Remember that trade that sent Eloy Jimenez from the Cubs to the White Sox? Well, the South Side is very thankful for that trade. He homers a straightaway center in the first inning to give the Sox a 3-0 lead. And in the fifth, with a special appearance from Al Michaels, he does it again. This one is pelted to right. That leaves the park. It's his second home run of the night. To the seventh now, 8-3 ball game. Make it 9-3. A rope off the bat of Andrew Vaughn brings the runner from third home. And that would be your final from Wrigley as the Sox pull off the sweep of the Cubs. With football season right around the corner and the Hall of Fame game just this past week, it was time for the class of 2020 and 2021 to officially be inducted into Canton, Ohio. One of those members receiving their gold jackets and bust was former Chicago Bears offensive lineman Jimbo Covert. Covert was a part of the 2020 class, but due to the pandemic, there was no ceremony last year. Covert spent his entire career in Chicago from 1983 to 1990 and was a member of the 1985 Super Bowl winning Chicago Bears team. A two-time first-team All-Pro, Covert becomes the Bears' 30th Hall of Famer, has the most of any franchise in the league. During his speech, he thanked his family, former teammates, the McCaskey family, and especially his coach, fellow Hall of Famer Mike Ditka.
One of my first meetings, Mike Ditka said, I got good news and bad news. Good news is we're going to the Super Bowl. Bad news is half you guys won't be there when we do. But I also believe he reestablished the pride back into the Bears organization, that playing in the NFL is a privilege and not a right, and that when you pull that Bears jersey over your pads and put on that helmet with that C on the side, it means something special. So thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Covert also had the opportunity to speak with the Chicago Bears' First Lady, Virginia McCaskey, at his induction. This picture from the Bears' social media accounts. Another thing Covert pointed out in his speech was talking about how he went up against the best players in practice each day, and I think that lesson is still applicable to this year's team. Whoever the Bears ride with at quarterback should feel confident knowing that he's got one heck of a defense that he faces each and every day in practice that will inevitably make him better. And with new D coordinator Sean Desai, they're hoping to return to that dominance they had in 2018 under Desai's mentor, Vic Fangio. Looking around the locker room, the players know there's no shortage of talent on this roster.
Obviously, we got our nuances, but we just compete. Everybody do their job, play with relentless effort, and everything else kind of take care of itself. So we got a lot of dogs on defense, so it's definitely exciting.
It was a bit rainy, but the Packers welcomed fans inside Lambeau last night for Family Night and a first look at a live inter-squad scrimmage from training camp. Family Night's been a tradition for years and is something the players, coaches, and executives love as they get to interact with the community in Green Bay. The Summer 2020 Tokyo Olympics have officially come and gone with closing ceremonies taking place this morning. The torch now officially being passed to Paris for 2024. This is the final medal tally from Tokyo as the United States took home first place with 113 total medals. They also took home 39 gold medals, good for first as well, with one more than the People's Republic of China, who had 88 total. The Russian Olympic Committee came in third, followed by Great Britain and host country Japan in fifth. That's it for sports, so we'll be right back.
Candace is back with one last look at our forecast, and we have a hot week ahead.
Yeah, the start of the week is going to be a little more on the steamy side, so get ready for more of the heat index back up over 100
A little
degrees.
sticky, too.
Yeah, a little sticky.
Have a change of clothes with you.
Your hair might be frizzing out like this but the next couple of days. Good news, though, the end of the week going to be a little bit more comfortable. We do have a few showers lingering out there here this evening. Our first warn interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We've got a few thunderstorms back out west over Iowa. That is tied into a low pressure system that'll be coming closer to us tomorrow morning. Could see some strong to severe thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon.
Well, thanks, Candace, and thanks for making us your home team. Have a great night.